Hey guys, and welcome to Cast the Salt. With you today, you have myself, Ben, and the wonderful Adam Wilcock.
Hello, I feel very lovely today.
We are casting, we are salting. It is a cast of salt.
I feel salty, man. We had an election yesterday.
Oh boy. And have you seen the results?
Yes.
Nothing has changed.
Yeah, no.
The end.
One seat so far has flipped over.
One seat flipped,
to
and
Labour.
I think I remember saying, I was just like...
And a few have lost from National Party to shooters.
Anyway, politics aside.
Oh my god.
Thank you very much for
So
joining
angry.
us.
I could literally just turn this into a political podcast. I've got so many opinions on this fucking
so pent up.
election.
Not for this channel.
Stop.
Not for this channel.
Stop.
Anyway,
We have other dissenting opinions to get to.
to our usual sort of intro.
Oh god.
Thanks for joining us. Check us out on YouTube. Jump onto our Discord. And if you haven't yet heard, we are on that platform that everybody uses.
We're on Stadia. No, we're not.
Spotify.
We're on
We're on
Spotify.
Spotify. But hang tight, we may be on Stadia soon. Anyway, jump into our Discord, jump into our comments, and let us know what you think. If there's anything in particular you want to hear, talk about, watch, any of our Let's Plays that you're particularly interested in and you want us to do more of, or something new, just let us know. Anywho, politics aside,
Yeah.
Adam, how's your week been?
It's been a lot of work.
Yeah.
I think it's been outside gaming has been pretty busy
Entirely
this week.
work.
But I've managed to continue to play Anthem. That's been my week. I've actually seen some really cool Netflix stuff as well.
Yeah?
I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm keen to hear all about it because in my world, I've had no internet for the last
Oh my god.
week and a half.
Oh, yeah.
And so
You moved.
zero Netflixing. So I moved. And it has been an interesting move. I've been there for just about a week now. Pretty much exactly a week now. And for the first 4 nights or 4 days, no power.
No,
that was fun.
you couldn't even
I
turn.
had hot water. I had water and running water, which was good.
So how did you?
So
do you have a stove that you can cook food without needing? Oh, it's an electric stove.
It's a gas
Oh,
stove,
God.
but it has an electric spark
Electric ignition.
So, but
you couldn't
I
use the
could have
barbecue
I
lighter?
could have used the lighter if I really wanted to. I was lazy.
Our ignitions don't work on our stove. We have to use barbecue lighters.
I was lazy. I just ordered food, so that got me through those
1
4
week
days.
of takeaway food.
And then it also rained insanely heavy that weekend.
Yeah.
And I had a leak in my roof. To this day, that leak is still there. I have a bucket at the front of my front door.
Oh, really?
And not out the front, like right in as you step into my front, like my apartment, right at the door, there's a bucket there. It's just bloop, bloop. So plumber's coming in on Monday to fix that, so
Yeah.
all good there. But yeah, no internet. Interesting thing about that is it leaves you so much free time when you don't have the internet to waste
You
your
just
time on. I
what do
have
I
done
do?
so much shit.
Oh, really?
I have gotten so much done.
Really?
Normally I'll be like, I need to do this, this, and this. I might do one thing. I'm like, I didn't end up doing those 2-3 other things that I wanted to do. Now I've just
I did
did
everything.
all this shopping, cleaned the whole apartment, built some new furniture.
Yeah.
Got rid of all
'Cause
this
without-
old stuff that I needed to
The
get
thing
rid
is,
of.
the first couple of days, you couldn't even be like, I'm just going to watch good old-fashioned free-to-air TV.
Regular TV. I couldn't
Nothing.
do that. So,
Nothing.
It has been the most productive I have been in my personal life in a very, very long time. I just got so... even just yesterday, I ended up going to watch a movie. I watched Alita. I couldn't play any of my usual Apex Legends or Overwatch
Nope.
or anything. So I was able to boot up some offline gaming.
Oh,
So-
yeah. Remember those days when we could play games without having to connect to the internet all the time? Remember that?
The thing is, I
Wasn't
was
that
just
great?
I was like, shit, what can I play? I can't play this. I can't play this. I can't
And
play
you
this.
just
And I was like, okay, I'll play FIFA. I played a bit of FIFA. My save file is online apparently. So
You're
my
like-
current game, I was just like, it had this old save file, and my current one, I was just like, I guess I can't play this. But you can still play offline. But it still has such a need for the online parts of
They're
it.
intrinsically tied together these days.
And then I was just like, well, fortunately, I bought Shadow of War like a week ago. And for anybody that's watched this before, like a while back, you know my love of Shadow of Mordor.
He was like, for almost a year's worth of
podcast. Like, what have you been doing, Ben? Playing Shadow of Mordor. It's weird not being online. I think I need to do this every once in a while and just
pull the modem
just
out from the wall.
unplug my internet for a little bit and just give myself some time to just do shit that I need to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, that has been a very interesting last 2 weeks for me. But enough about me.
What will tangent though very well into this is, wouldn't you love, Ben, to have a platform where you need to be online to play video games? If all my gaming was entirely online in this last 2 weeks, I'd just be like, imagine in a world where Google Stadia is the only video game platform,
the go-to platform.
That means you're screwed.
Oh, man. No, well, to be fair, I think, again, similar to my idea of just unplugging my modem, I'd be okay with that for a short period of time. Because, end of last year when I went on a cruise, refused to connect to the internet the entire time.
I didn't connect.
And then...
I did bring video games.
Yeah. I took comics, I had my Game Boy, I had a few things, but I refused to connect to the internet for 11 days. And I was happy with that. And then this time around again, I got so much done. So if all my gaming was on Stadia, which is the topic we're going to be talking about in some detail now, if I had a period of time where I couldn't play, I'd probably be okay. If it went a month, then I'd be like,
yeah,
hey, I did my offline gaming, guys.
Yeah. So, anyone that hasn't heard about this, it's been nearly a week now, I think, since the announcement. So I think most people are probably aware of what Stadia is. It's the new hotness. It's the new Google. Google has stepped in.
Google taking over the world that little bit more.
It's just you know what? We're going to do that one as well.
We're going to do this as well. So anyway, context as to what Stadia is, because we've said it 5 times without actually explaining what it is. Stadia is Google's new platform, or new delve into a new space of gaming. So they do everything else. They're now getting into the gaming space.
Yep.
And what they're doing is they're providing an online service. So when I first heard about this, I was just I'm somewhat confused about what they're trying to do. But what they're trying to do is give a platform that will allow any game on any previously any device, so PC, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever it is that's your poison, it's available on Stadia. Obviously, there's a lot of caveats around it, a lot of technical connectivity and whatnot, but their intent and their idea is this is one place where all gaming can happen.
Regardless of
your platform, regardless of what it is. It's just you hop online, you jump onto Stadia. I'm assuming you'll have an account, whatever the case may be, subscription, blah, 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 blah. And you can go, I want to play this game, or I want to go play that game, or whatever the case may be. So it's literally gaming as a service. We've talked about this in a lot of different ways before.
The thing is, this doesn't really surprise a lot of people, simply because Sony and Microsoft have been pushing for this
similar sort of,
have been pushing towards this for quite some time. It's not what's this concept,
just on a smaller scale. It was always these are all our games. Jump on and you can play our
even
games.
their gaming as a service, it's not so much at the moment. We're very much in a pattern of gaming as a service, because you've got stuff like Xbox Game Pass, and you've got PlayStation Now. Is it PlayStation Now or Now Plus?
Yeah,
I can't remember. But they also have their own pay us X a month, and then you get access to all of these set library. Which they rotate in and out. Which has a lot of, which is actually really beneficial for a lot of people. Those services, I can't really speak. I don't know the PlayStation numbers off the top of my head, but the Xbox one's actually quite affordable. I don't have it.
It's $10 a month?
Oh, less. I think
than that,
it's $6 or $7 a month. So, but the thing is, it's quite affordable for their backlog if you want to get into the backlog of their games. But not only that, as well, is that you still have the ability to buy the latest game or the latest whatever, and they have started putting on big releases straight onto Game Pass, which, I mean, if you want to pay $7 to $10, if you're getting the bang for your buck out of that, it is worth it. It's not oh man, they're charging you like
yet another subscription base.
$30 a month for games, and you're like,
that are old, boring games or anything like that. It's a good service.
Yeah.
So where Stadia and Google are different is it's just the scale. It's the fact that it's potentially everything. Probably key to mention that it's potentially everything. So it's going to be heavily dependent on
anything that opens in Google Chrome, basically.
Yeah.
So phone,
tablet, and consoles now. Like consoles have browser capabilities. So it's...
you log onto your Xbox just to like open a browser window and play Stadia.
It's just
I can't see myself doing that, but you probably could.
You could if you really wanted to. So no, it's really, really interesting that they're doing this. And I can see a lot of potential for it, but I can also see a lot of risks and difficulties around it.
Absolutely.
So I think one of the key things that we discussed, jump onto our Discord. We've kind of had part of this discussion already. Is that need for internet, that high speed internet.
Yeah, not just I need to be able to connect.
You need good internet.
And the thing is, like,
if this is going to be viable for you.
Yeah. So
to be fair, there are some games that you can just be like,
there's some games
do some
where
puzzle
like
games. It's okay.
I saw some like napkin maths basically from people when it came out, and that this was for like basic assumptions of like the upload and download speeds that you currently get now on internet packages, and saying like, well, this is what we need. This is how much you need for streaming video via Netflix and 4K streaming. Because this thing, like Stadia, is also boasting that they're going to be doing
they were boasting some huge
streaming
numbers.
In so 1080p 60 FPS is baseline, and then they're going to 4K, and then in the next 3 or 4 years or something, they said that they'd be doing 8K streaming. I was like,
that's insane.
What do you think we have as an internet connection?
Who's going to be able to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
To be fair, there are some that will be able to do that.
Because the thing is, there's already 8K TVs like going to be coming on the market. I think they exist. I'm trying to think of 8K TVs. They don't exist commercially yet, but there's a lot of like the technology will go there.
Leading
People will be like,
it.
oh, we'll do 8K.
Yeah,
why not? But the thing is, the question is like, can you get can you get that much data down at once? And realistically, so I think the quick maths on it was that it was going to be up to the best, like an ideal scenario was be at least 7 frames of lag.
Yeah.
Of like, and which
again, in a lot of games, that can be okay. You run around
turn-based kind of games. If you're playing StarCraft or whatever, and everyone's kind of you're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
like it's not the end of the world. But
when it comes to competitive games,
like, imagine playing Overwatch or playing
run, sniped. I don't even know who shot me or where that came from.
Playing Dead or Alive. Oh, I'm going to say Dead or Alive. Let's have a fighting game people care about.
Street Fighter,
Tekken, where you're having at best 7 frames of latency, and that's just because of the connection. That's not because of their connection is bad versus your connection, which is a fighting game and the FPS shooter nightmare. Is like, well, they're lagging out, so it's going to affect me because their data upload's bad. But this is just on your side because the amount it takes to go
up and down, like
from your controller back to the home, and then come back to your display monitor. Like 7 frames, like that's unplayable for competitive games. Yeah. It's like completely unplayable.
Imagine playing Smash with that, like
unplayable.
You're not gonna get anywhere. Like
So like at the same thing, you're like, well, I mean, technology can actually, like internet gets better, and this is where we'd be like, well, this is where Google would come in hard with their fiber rollout,
and
be like, well, we're
going to do internet service effectively.
Well, they've already got Google Fiber, but like if they roll it out harder, they'd be like, well, we're going to supply you with the infrastructure to be able to use this service. Then you're like, well, that makes sense. And they're Google, they can do that.
Yes.
That's not something
they can do that, and I reckon they will do that. But again, unfortunately for the likes of us, that would be a long time. Well, long time before
on the release
that gets
thing.
to us.
Australia isn't even on the release.
Yeah.
like it was US and then Europe and then I think, and I was like, cool, we're not getting it.
You guys
Bye,
have fun. You guys have fun with your Google Fiber and Stadia. We'll just stick to our ancient methods of gaming.
But just think about it, like, so it's more of a question not just of Stadia, because like obviously if a company is going to be able to pull this off, Google is going to be one of the top companies to be able to do this.
Yes.
Simply because they themselves, Microsoft and Sony, do not have the funds to go and lay their own pipes in the ground.
God no.
To be able to support a gaming infrastructure. They're not going to.
Microsoft and PlayStation can't build their own internet to allow people to play at insanely fast speeds.
Yeah, Google can, which one is terrifying.
Like I said,
Google,
one step closer to taking over the world. They're just a little bit at a time.
I gotta give you my book that I've been reading. Oh my god! So I've actually been, and this actually kind of informs the idea that what I've been reading. So it's called The Four. The author is Scott Galloway, I believe. And it's about like the four major companies, which are all tech-based companies. One of them definitely is Google.
Yeah.
And it talks about like how they have market strategy and dominance and how they've pivoted their original businesses into being these huge behemoths that do multiple things.
Do everything.
And originally these four companies, which is Facebook, I'll see if I can remember them. Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Apple. So they didn't used to compete with each other, but now because they've become so monolithic and spread out everywhere, they are starting to butt heads.
Yep.
Which also makes me think of like, I wonder if anyone else is gonna throw their weight
jump
behind
in.
But the thing is, like, what it does get into
or is it too late? Like, who can compete with those four now?
Well, there are like other
some
people.
Fringe.
There are some actual, like that. The book actually does get into it as well. Microsoft is actually technically like the fifth. It used to be one of the big four. And now it's kind of sitting in fifth or sixth position, like kind of globally.
Yeah.
So they're still a huge player, but not
to the same extent.
Not quite to the same extent, because they've pivoted to business rather than consumer.
True. Yeah.
But okay, so this is just
Very
informing the discussion that Google's main thing is that they have done a few things really well, and they are so powerful that they can do the full end-to-end service, which is something not a lot of people can do. So they can lay the pipes, they can provide you with like, and they've even done stuff like dropping, undercutting all competition to force the big telecommunications companies to drop their prices, which is good. It's good for the consumer, but it's also very good for them, because it means they get to provide more of their online services to more people, because people can sign up and get fast internet for cheaper. So people then go, great, and then they go in and then they can use all of Google's services.
They're gonna have their own ISP at some point, aren't they?
Pardon?
They're gonna have their own ISP.
Yeah, I know. They already do. They already do.
Yeah.
Google Fiber, when you sign up for Google Fiber,
that's them using their ISP.
You pay Google for the fiber lines.
All right, of course. Makes sense.
Yeah. So, like,
this is in the US. It's not like NBN. Sorry.
No, it's basically good NBN. But Google decided to do it. And it's actual fiber to the premise as well. But yeah, so it's like Google. But what Google has also done is they've done it in selected cities when they know that the telecommunications companies have these really bizarre, I don't know how the US law allows them to operate in this way, but they basically agree to be like, there's like 50 of us, but 2 of us can live in Los Angeles and no more.
Yeah.
So one is a monopoly and that's illegal, but two is
allowed.
2 is fine. Like that's still not allowed because you're all agreeing amongst yourselves who will operate in what state and city. That's fucking illegal. But I don't know how. I don't know, man. US law is like a fucking. It's so bad.
Drugs. But the internet. There's like they're cartels. They are. This is our turf.
This is our turf.
You stay away from our turf. We're the providers here. You go elsewhere.
Yeah. So Google's been trying to break that up, and you think, oh, that's so good of Google to do that. It's completely for their own benefit. This is for their own benefit. Good,
but they're like very selfish reasons.
They're aligned. It's like a D&D thing where you're like it's an anti-hero, and you're just like, well, our goals temporarily aligned, so I'm happy to help you here. Yes. But trust me, they're not being like, oh, we're going to look out for the consumer.
Like, no.
They're looking out for Google.
The second that they don't make money out of this, gone.
Which is what happens. So Google has pulled out in a few places where like the implementation's been too hard, or they've just uprooted and be like, no, we're done. or they've come in, caused the telcos to pull their prices down, and then they pull out.
And they're just like,
Yeah,
good.
they go, fuck it. Because to them, they only give a shit that the service is there.
Yeah.
They don't care that they're running the service. They don't care that they're making money off that service.
Yeah.
All of their money comes on the back end on their online services. All of it.
Once the service is there, once people are on it, once people can afford it, then they're like, sweet, now
Absolutely.
pay us for our thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting thing I think we'll do with state. Like looking through that lens, I was saying like what could Google be trying to set up with this? Because it's quite possible that they create this service, it's working, and then they go, no, we're done with it now. Which has raised the issue, people being like, oh, people put all their games up there, and like you were talking about online only games, which means people that like to preserve games. It gets harder because if people are only playing
online,
or if only people put their game up on Stadia, then you're like, the service dies, game's gone.
It's
Game's
gone.
So it's one of these things where like, I mean, that's more of a cultural thing within the gaming community of people wanting to preserve physical copies of games and like from a historical.
But even not even the preservation side of things, it's that ability to play. So previously, you buy a game, you have the hard copy, you have your console, you have your PC, you have whatever, and you have that for life. It may break in 10 years' time and it's done.
That's yours.
But it's yours. You have that. But for example, I think 2-3 months ago, my gold membership subscription ended.
Yep.
And I was just like in the middle of like literally mid game of FIFA. And it's gone because it needs like gold. You need gold to play online.
Online, yep.
And it's got some connections, like it gets some information from whatever.
Basically,
and
silver is you can download updates and patches for your games you buy.
So, but the thing is, my gold membership expired.
Yep.
And so for a period of a couple of hours, I didn't have a membership. I didn't have silver. I didn't have gold. Just nothing.
Yeah.
And
the silver's free.
Yeah, silver is free. Like, but you have to manually revert it back to silver.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So for a period of time, I couldn't even it was locked in a loop. My FIFA was loading, and it just stayed there for like.
Really?
I left it for half an hour and just kept loading and loading and loading and loading. So like I could not do anything.
You couldn't actually play the game.
I could not play that game.
So it's difficult now because like a lot of times you're like, well, I have the disc, so it should work. And the thing is, the game still doesn't work.
So if I had reverted to silver,
it would
have
work.
been okay. But I renewed my gold membership. But the other aspect of it is, for example, games with gold. You download games, you can't even boot it if you don't have that gold membership. If I had silver membership, it still wouldn't boot. It's like, sorry, this game is unavailable, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the case with Stadia.
Yeah.
You're locked in. That's the thing with these subscription things. It's if you want to keep playing that game, you're locked in. You have to keep paying. Yes, it's fantastic that for $6 or whatever
you
it
can
is for
play a whole selection of games
with the Xbox One. You can play all these games, a million games available to you. But the second you stop paying that subscription, and which is I'm assuming going to be the same case with Stadia because I'm assuming it's going to be a subscription based. It's not available to you anymore. You can't just go, I really, really like this one game. I'm going to take this one game, go away and play it. Unless they give you a download option or something like that.
Yeah.
So for example, Spotify now, subscription based.
You can download
download and listen offline. So that's a possibility. But at the same time, it's kind of scary in that you are locked into that service.
Absolutely. For
good, effectively. So there's a lot of pros and cons. There's a lot of cool things about this, and there's a lot of difficult things about it.
Yeah.
Internet connection being probably the key one.
I think from an Australian perspective as well is that it's going to be, even if Stadia does come out to Australia, I think it's going to be very difficult for us, even in major cities, to be able to play. Yeah. And I think that's going to be a big problem. I don't really see it taking off here simply because like even people with the best NBN connections are going to struggle. You need business level connections. Yeah. So we've done this at my work a couple of times. We'd play Stadia there, I guess.
That's pretty much because you can get for business level things, you can get TPG 400.
Yeah.
Meg per second download or whatever the scale is. And it's you can have really, really good internet. It just has to be insanely specialized and you pay through the teeth
But
for
the
it.
thing is,
That's not available to day-to-day chums like you and me.
no. but also, they also advertise, like, it's on your browser. So if you have a Stadia login, you can, like, on your phone. And no one would play this, like, on the train and be like, I'm just gonna
Casually jump onto my...
like gigabytes later. Like, that's not gonna happen. But, like, so I'm guessing you'd be relying on, like, Wi-Fi. But the thing is, though, like, how often are you gonna be in a place where you're, like, mobily that can just be like, yeah, we've got the... Like, I'm not gonna be able to go to my local McDonald's and start
just sit and
streaming.
play.
Yeah, like, that's not gonna happen.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
I think the infrastructure is a key thing of this.
It's a massive thing.
Where I just don't foresee it. I don't think the technology is up with the idea, and this is definitely where. And I'm not trashing the idea of this because
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Because I think that's the way the industry is heading. Microsoft has even been teasing recently that they're going to be releasing an Xbox One. I think to kind of end off the Xbox
Consoles.
One generation that is discless. And from what I've been seeing, it looked like the size of maybe a little larger than your phone.
Oh, maybe maybe Apple
the
TV.
same kind of
like
the
an
same,
Apple TV
the same kind of
or Chromebox.
Yeah.
The same thing as a Chromebox.
Yeah, I'm holding it up to the camera, but like basically the same size as a Google as an Xbox
Elite controller case.
Elite controller case. About the same size as your controller. So which I mean is good. I mean that's great if you're just like, I mean, I buy all my games online. Like I digitally buy all my games. I have Game Pass or whatever. Like I don't give a shit about discs. That's great. And the thing is, I think they're also doing that. You mentioned it. You hit the nail on the head that they're also trying to maybe push more of their entertainment services. And because you can rent movies through Xbox, you can do all these crazy things. So I think they're going to be like saying, hey, and they've also announced that the backwards you can now stream. Oh, I'm trying to remember how to say this correctly. You can stream PC through to your Xbox, not just Xbox to PC. Now it goes both ways.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you could play your PC games off your Xbox.
Yep.
Now,
Yes.
you can play your PC games off your Xbox, which means that the idea is like where I'm at my computer now and I'm playing my PC game, and then I go over and I have my little Xbox, my little Xbox One like discless, and all of a sudden I can then continue playing my PC games out on my couch.
Yeah.
And then so that's a really big thing for PC gamers as well, because it kind of has this all-in-one attribute, which is actually what Xbox One tried to launch with, and then nobody bought it.
Nobody wanted it.
Nobody wanted it. People wanted the thing to play games on.
Yeah. So this kind of ties back into that book that you're talking about with the likes of Apple, Facebook, Google, and Amazon. They want you on their ecosystem.
Yes.
Anywhere and everywhere you go. Phone, TV.
They buy you in.
You are connected in every way possible. So if you're on your PC, you're playing your Microsoft games, you jump onto your TV and you still want to keep playing, Microsoft games are available there. You go on your mobile, Microsoft games are still available there. Like, they want you as a consumer in their world, in their space, giving them your money.
All times.
Like, they don't want you to be like, I want to be on my phone. There's nothing in Microsoft I want to play. So I'll jump onto a I don't know, Sony game or whoever. Like, if you can, it's gone beyond just that subscription service. It's your life. This Apple, the same thing. Their phones, their laptops, iPods, whatever it is. It's like, buy this one product, but no. You need to buy this other product and this other one and this other one. Otherwise, you're missing out on all these things.
So you know the watch works really well. If the phone, get the phone. Phone's the flagship. But the watch syncs great with the phone. So if you have the watch and the phone, they both work even better. And if you have an iMac, then they both sync up, and then you can have everything working together. So you can get your emails on everything, and then you just like look at that.
You don't need to go anywhere.
You've spent thousands of dollars now.
And that's exactly what all of these big monolith companies that are vying to take over the world is. They want you in their space.
Yes.
And
I think
they want you to not want to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's not even a matter of competition or anything. It's like, you're our customer. You're our person now.
Yeah.
You belong to us now.
Yeah.
So, and that's going to keep being the trend. And simply because that's the way they'll make the most money.
Yep.
Like, if they can get you locked in, all your money goes to them, then they're happy. As bad as that sounds, just coming back to Stadia again, and the thing that's most exciting for me about it
Yeah.
is, who knows? And this is still a couple of years away. They're not going to release this full. They've made this big announcement and whatnot, but it's still a long ways away. So who knows? The technology might catch up in time for a release, and Google will make that technology catch up in time.
And that's the thing we've been talking about, is you're saying, oh, maybe the technology catch up. Well, the person doing the catching up is also Google.
Doing the releasing of this information.
Like, it makes sense for them. They're just like, well, we can announce this because
we're the ones
we
doing
can guarantee the success of this thing if we pour enough money into it.
Yeah.
The question is, will they pour enough money into it?
And who knows? We'll see. I see it could be very beneficial for them. Like, it's that business risk trade. They go,
absolutely.
We burn billions of dollars to make this thing, and we'll make billions back in no time at all. Or we burn billions in, and nobody wants it.
Or if nobody wants it and they're getting enough money, if it saps the competition, then that's also, you're like, well, it doesn't really make us money. But realistically, we don't need to be able to make money. What we want to do is to be able to eliminate competition. Because when you get to that size, eliminating competition is way better than getting more money. Because you already have money.
Yeah, exactly right. It's like,
so to get infinite monies, you make sure no competition exists. Then you have all
no
money.
one else can take your money.
There's a little bit of money, there's a lot of money, and then there's all the money. And when you have a lot of money, you don't need a lot of money. You need all the money.
That's the next step up. You want all the monies. But anyway, coming back to what I was saying, the thing that is appealing to me about this is just that fact of going, I've seen this trailer for this game.
Yep.
I think it looks sweet.
That click to play, man.
And instantly playing.
Bang.
That's like the coolest thing.
That looks awesome.
Like, I'm just like...
And it's integration with YouTube as well. So that has a lot of things for us. If you're like, hey, these Pinch Soul guys are playing this really fun. They're playing Mega Man 11. That looks really fun. Click,
and time for me to play.
Yeah, and I'm playing. Or we could even, when you're live streaming through like, say, YouTube, like YouTube Live and like doing all that stuff, you could just be like, okay, cool. You can share your save state and be like, cool. And this is interesting because the streamer's gonna be like, I can't do this. And
like,
then someone in chat's gonna be like, fucking give me save state, you dumb bitch. I'm gonna play this. So then all of a sudden, you share your state, and then you can as a user, you can click your browser, and then you can jump in at that point
and play. How crazy is it that save states are now gonna be a thing again? Because I don't know for our listeners, if any of you guys ever use like emulators, like SNES emulators or
the cheat saving system.
I hated myself because there was a couple of games that I was
try not to use save states.
I intentionally played for anybody that knows me, one of my favorite games ever is Seiken Densetsu 3, ST3. It's a Secret of Mana game that never really came out. It only came out in Japan.
You fucking weeb trash. You're such weeb trash.
The first time I ever played it was my brother's friend's illegal modified copy, so it was actually in English.
Oh, was it? Yeah. You got an actual translated version.
So it was an emulated translated version. And because it was emulated, save state. So you just go through, you get to a point, you'll be like, save state, save state.
Save state.
And then
halfway through the middle of a fight,
you just like load. Oh yeah, you save state halfway through the fight. So you're like, I'm doing well. I've killed him halfway, save state, and then keep fighting. Shit, I lost. Back to that halfway save state so I can keep fighting. And I did that so much to the point of, I probably reckon I would have loaded a save like 10 times a minute kind of a thing. It was freaking ridiculous to the point where I was like, I hate myself for this. I need to not do this anymore. And just
it's playing with God mode, because half the time the game is stupid enough to think like you're in its current state, and then you save the game, and then the game goes, and then the enemy goes, okay, I'm going to use this move, and you go, oh, that I that fucked me up. You reload and then do the move that would have counted, and then they do the move, and you're like,
but the thing is,
fine, I'm all good.
The game doesn't know that you're save stating.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
It's
Like,
playing through, and you're just going rewind time,
and you're knowing what it's gonna do now.
So it was like it got to the point where I was just like, I banned myself from using save state and made sure I used in-game saving to just play.
There
through.
are some games I've used playing save state. One of them was like when I think I played Battletoads again. And I was like, fuck this. I actually want to see this game, and I'm not good enough to see it. So
so there's an upside to it as well. But the fact that, like, for me, save states was a thing from like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, with this new service, you can save state and share that, and someone else can jump in for you. It's just like,
that's one thing I was interested in, because like they used a few examples, and it sounded like you could jump in for other people, but it also was like,
but
it
it's
was
your
also,
game, like you can carry on yourself, sort of a thing.
Yeah, but I think it's also like hey, this is a cool bit of this game. I'm gonna share that. And my part,
and my audience,
and you get the character, like you basically
can
in
experience it,
and
so
you're in their save game.
Yeah.
But I don't think that takes over their save.
I
It doesn't take
imagine
their
it's a
session
copy.
over.
You would get a copy of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, and then if you get past that point that I'm stuck with, you can share it back with me, and I keep playing.
Obviously, there would be a lot of restrictions and stuff as well, because, like, imagine being in Fortnite and you're like in top 10 and you're like, someone take over for me, please. but then them getting a save state, how does that work? Like,
I didn't imagine
that's a session game. That's an online session game.
It would not be able to work with an online session game.
There's now 11 people in this match. And you're like,
what just happened?
People just clone themselves in here.
It wouldn't work in a competitive match. It wouldn't work in an online, like, real time sort of a game. No, but I think it's cool, but it's also kind of, like I said, it's weird for me because save states was a thing from emulators and 15 years ago. But I'm super curious to see how this pans out. Another thing that I did see, like your mention of, who knows what Google's going to do. Maybe they'll just drop it. Like, it might, like,
they've done it before.
Exactly right.
Remember Google Plus? Google Glass.
They have so many things, so many projects. And again, this is because they're so insanely rich and powerful and big. They can just pick this thing up, run with it, let it go. Pick this thing up, run with it, let it go. And they've come up with a million amazing ideas but they've just dropped a billion others because it just doesn't make sense. But they're in the position where they have that power to go, let's try anything and everything. If it works, it works. We make more money. If it doesn't, we don't. Not a big deal.
I think if Google Glass would have worked is if they just made them look like Dragon Ball Z scouters. Do you reckon people would have bought more of them then?
I think it would have been more popular.
I mean, they look, the thing is, like, they look dumb. They look super stupid. Like, you were just like, I'm not wearing that. Are you kidding me? I'm going to get beaten up. My lunch money taken. I'm 35 and I think my lunch money's going to get taken.
They had 2 iterations of it. The first one was the biggest, clunkiest, ugliest thing. The second one was better, but still wasn't all that great.
It didn't look cool. That's the thing. You're selling a few.
It's an accessory.
You're selling like accessory. Like, you're selling the concept of the future, like of literally like
this is where
like futurism kind of thing. You want to make it look fucking like not like my joke of a Dragon Ball Z scouter. I mean, people would buy that,
but that would be a joke.
But even like something in that vein, seriously, of making it look futuristic, like it came out of a 1980s future novel, then I think people would buy that because people would be like, yeah, okay,
this
cool.
is the future.
Like, exactly. It makes people excited for that shit.
So similar,
not like glasses with this weird box on the side. You're
Google
like,
Plus and whatnot. This is where another company would have done better. This is where Apple would have done better. I reckon Apple would have nailed the glasses.
Well, because they're a luxury brand.
Because they're a luxury brand.
They're a
so
luxury
even
brand.
if it looked like shit, because they're a luxury brand,
people go, what's a status symbol? Because it's Apple, so I need it.
The Apple fanboys would have bought that shit up. No doubt. I am not even kidding you now.
Completely.
I am certain that as ugly as the Google glasses was, if Apple had released the exact same thing, maybe with like a shinier Apple glossy bevel, Apple fanboys instantly, I need this. Not like I need to buy this. I need this more than the watch. I need this more than my iPad. I just need this because it's part of. Anyway.
No, you're completely right.
And because of that fan base, that initial buy-in, then Apple did a thing, and then Samsung like, yes, we got to do this as well.
And then Google's like, we got one.
Google's like, well, ours is here too.
Because we don't want you using our searching services. Well, like, we could do it as well.
Yeah, so
we leverage our own network.
And who knows, it might come around again. I imagine it would at some point, like just some way, some shape or form of it. If Apple had been the ones that had pushed it out, in my mind, I see it would have been much more successful, and it would have taken ground.
So
a
the
little
thing
bit
is,
better.
where it failed is Google is kind of perceived as the brain of the internet because so it's kind of like an intellect thing where like you buy Apple because, and this is not disparaging like the technology of Apple, like, and saying, oh, I'm a Microsoft person, like. It's just that people buy Apples because it's a well constructed product and the packaging, like unboxing an iPhone is such a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Then
it's
glamorous. And the glass and like a wearable accessory needs to be glamorous.
Yeah.
It can't be intellectual.
Thing.
It can't be a smug thing. It has to be this like I look beautiful wearing
I look good.
this.
I look damn good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and I think that was the thing that missed.
And again,
that's not Google's thing. Google is pushing for like their services, which is functionality, like search and knowledge and all this stuff. And that is not what
that's not one of them
needs.
So watches, smartwatches.
Yeah.
Apple, I'd say Apple were the pioneers of, not pioneers, but they're one of the first to really push it, right? Yeah. And I think a similar thing. If Google had done smartwatches first,
if Carl was listening, he'd be like, "Hey, I kickstarted the Pebble." Like...
Sorry, Carl. Like I said, one of the first to really push it. Like, yes, Pebble was before it. Yes, there were a ton of things before it, but Apple was the one that made it mainstream.
Can't really remember what the Pebble was.
Apple made it mainstream. So that's the thing. I think Apple has cordon that market of accessories, of those bits and pieces. Google can then step in and do, hey, you want a better example of it? Here you go. But they can't be the first to push it, I think. Anywho, we've just gone all over the place with this.
So
with this topic.
Let's wrap this up. There's one or two more things I want to talk about Stadia, then we can wrap this up. So I do actually want to talk about some good things, some bit of speculation, but some things that like maybe are a bit more positive, and I'm thinking more from a developer perspective. So I've been on their dev site because they're trying to get devs to apply for their Stadia program. Ironically enough, if you Google search the word Stadia, the first web result, because there's a whole bunch of those like little boxes to be like, this is this and this is this and these are ads. Yeah. The first legitimate result is actually their dev homepage, which I was like, that's bizarre. It's not like...
Honestly, it makes sense.
But they're not actually releasing to the public, so maybe like the only
resource
sense they have out will be for people wanting to sign up.
Exactly
for the dev
right. It made sense that the dev is the first one because that's what they're pushing the most right now. Because they need developers to jump on. They need games. They need everybody to. So
which is a good thing though. They've actually got Assassin's Creed Odyssey up there. They're going to have. They've got Epic Game Store.
So Fortnite.
So Fortnite. I was like, holy shit! You guys have got Fortnite basically, and you've got. Because I was like, if you can't play the latest,
latest craze,
like, this could be fun, and this could be for these games. And I'm like, if you can't play Fortnite or Apex Legends on it, people will not play on Stadia.
Like you lose a big chunk.
You'll lose a big chunk of people. You need to get. If you can't get a battle royale game playing on your
if
thing,
you can't,
wait until battle royale craze dies out.
I was gonna say right now battle royale, but give it a year or two, and maybe the craze is gone, and whatever's the next big thing, you need the big thing. You always need the big thing on the platform.
But they've got like Unity support, and they've got they've got a whole bunch of tools, and they've got a whole bunch of partnerships. So I think that they definitely started off on the right foot, and I think it's a huge mountainous task.
Yeah.
If anyone is going to do it, it probably will be Google because of their unlimited amount of resources they can just throw at it. And the thing is, if they give a shit, they can just keep throwing resources at it until it works.
They're very smart. They know what's needed for it to be successful. They know that the technical foundations is absolutely critical. And again, that's why I'm like, it makes sense that the dev page is what comes up first, because without the devs building the games, building the infrastructure, building what's needed. They can spruce this all they want and make it a big deal. It's like, yeah, you can access it on TV, this and this and this and this.
No one,
but you have 5 games. Have fun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no.
Yeah. But it's funny though because it's browser based technology, and this is why web apps are so, like, from our perspective from IT, web apps are so popular instead of native apps.
Yeah,
because native apps are like, I've got to get an iOS developer to build this app,
yes,
and then I've got to get an Android developer to build the other version of the app, and I'm telling, like, people go, oh, just port them over. Because you're using the actual SDKs provided by those companies or organizations in the case of Android, you're actually very limited. You've built the app and that's the app. So when you're building native apps, it's very difficult. So when and that actually works for like all of the apps on Xbox, and I know this from dev experience, they're all native apps. Someone had to build that Xbox One app
specific for
but
Xbox,
now you can do web apps, and web apps are things that, you build the application on the cloud and then service it through a web page. This is basically the same thing for gaming. So what web apps give you is that you can just, if you have a browser, it works. So it's the same selling point with Stadia, is that you're going to have the same code base. You'll build the same game in Unity, which they have support for, and then bam, TV, laptop, mobile.
Just anything that can run a browser.
Good.
You're good.
Because I know there's like phone ports of games where you have like tactile
feedback and whatnot.
Well, and like on-screen controls and stuff.
Yes,
if you do want that, you'll have to port that game differently. So it will be different now. I'm interested to see how they handle that. But they showed off on their thing like a little clamp that you can have with the controller to your phone, so you can
play it on your phone.
But then you're gonna have to carry around the controller in your bag or something. I don't know. You can't just whip your phone out and play.
Who knows how it's gonna work specifically?
But the idea of this being like effectively a web application is that you just write the code once. So from a developer, you build a game and then bam, you're on every platform, which is super super tantalizing. For developers,
because it's like,
but not
previously my market was limited to whatever console, whatever platform that I was specifically targeting. Now anyone and everyone,
and especially a development studio that doesn't have a publisher like EA or Ubisoft or one of these huge juggernauts that can be like, sure, give us the game and then we'll give you the resources to make sure it's on PS4,
all
Xbox, PC, Switch, whatever. They're like, yeah, we're not partnered with anyone. We're
small companies.
Well, not even independents, for like companies like Bungie, who right now do not have a major publisher.
Yeah, true.
They've got a lot of money. They're a huge AAA studio, but they don't have publisher money.
Yeah. So
again, they could be like, fuck it. This seems like a great idea.
Yeah.
And especially at the most extreme point for the indie scene, that's huge. That's gonna be like,
it just opens up the market for them significantly.
And they've got and as we said before, with native apps where they have like SDKs, software development kits. I forget that everyone is not in IT. So you have these development kits, and with those development kits have a whole bunch of functionality so you can interact. So they've already shown off, and they showed this in the announcement, like kind of
the video.
It's not in the preview, but it's in the actual conference they had showed off. Is they actually have some Stadia specific SDK stuff, so for developers to get in. And actually they basically build showed someone running around and wiping through filters. Is almost like Instagram filters. So you build a game and you're like, I want the sepia filter, and then you bang.
It just applies differently.
And then that shades everything accordingly. With game development knowledge, textures and shading and shit are super fucking hard and annoying.
Difficult to get,
And for something to be like, apply sepia tone is very cool for an indie dev to be like, I want it to be this.
It simplifies the amount of work that needs to go into it, and so again, like,
that's also going to lock you into Stadia, though.
It locks you in.
That's not going to let you
but
put that on Steam.
I like this idea because it will also. It's gonna. How to put it? It's gonna be cool because it gives a lot of developers, even new developers. I could just be like, I want to make a game instead of trying to make an Android game or trying to make this game. I'm like, I reckon I'll go make a Stadia game simply because once it's out there, It will
It's
be
everywhere.
available to anyone and everyone
It's everywhere.
But then it will also flood their market with a bunch of
Shit games.
small shit games that look a lot alike.
Get ready. Get ready for Steam. Like, remember that?
It's gonna be a lot of
Little
similar,
problem on Steam.
like. But I can imagine Google will have some curating,
But
some
we
level
don't
of.
we don't
But this
know.
is all speculation.
Again. So if they're turning themselves into like a Steam front,
Esque,
then
sort
they're
of.
gonna have to worry about content management. They're gonna have to worry about.
But they have the
Like,
experience.
no, they do because they've got YouTube.
they've
But
got
having
YouTube.
said that,
They-
how many times have we complained about YouTube not filtering out? Hey, for some reason, we swore in the first 30 seconds of this video, so the video got demonetized. But there's literally a video of Spider-Man and Elsa kind of in semi-weird porn on YouTube, and that's fine. Can you please explain that, YouTube? I don't
Please
know.
explain. Like,
I don't
yeah.
I don't know. We miss things.
The robots
You're like-
missed it.
You're like,
So
okay.
anyway, so it's cool that it's enabling developers to do these things and enabling people to make their content, be creative, do
Yep.
what they want. But it's restricting because anyone that uses this engine or this SDK will be making a lot of similar looking, feeling sort of games.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that's
at the
a
same
cool-
time, when you get thousands or millions potentially of new games like this, then there's going to be a
Yeah.
saturation of these options.
So I don't see
Pros and
this.
cons.
I don't see this completely taking over the market. I don't see this being like everyone's gonna be on Stadia and Xbox and PlayStation are dead. But I think that it's definitely a big flag for the
it's
the
gonna have a
industry
huge
as a whole.
impact, and it's gonna. I reckon it's like it's gonna make like things are gonna change.
Yeah.
Like once Stadia comes out, once it gets momentum, then everyone else is gonna be like,
Yeah.
shit, we need to do something to stay
Yeah.
relevant, be more competitive, introduce something new. It's gonna be
Yeah.
a big pivoting point for.
I think the pricing structure that we'll see later about Stadia is also going to be very crucial to this because the thing is, like, we don't know. They didn't say anything about it. It could be pay per month, pay for a particular game. Like, the thing is, what would be cool if you like, I want to play this one game. I just want to play the new Assassin's Creed game. Can I play it? I don't give a fuck about Stadia
A
service.
million others, yeah.
And then they go, can I just get that one game? Can I get per game? Probably, my guess is probably not. I do think, though, that I heard this. I've heard people kind of say, like, oh, this could be something, and this seems very interesting, is paying for server time. So you get, I'm saying, I want 10 hours of Stadia. And effectively, and then
that's dangerous.
Or 40 hours of Stadia.
Yeah.
And obviously that would be more expensive than saying, give me a year subscription.
Yeah.
But then you get to play, you get to be 10 hours or 40 hours or however many on on that server, logged into Stadia, and then you're done. So you can pay for server
why
time.
I see that being dangerous is you burn 3 hours so quickly. Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's
you jump into a game and it's gone like that without even realizing.
Yeah.
So
But the thing is, people could be like, I want to try this new game out.
Yeah.
Can I play the new Assassin's Creed game and just get 3 hours of Stadia time? I don't want to go out. And the thing is, you don't want to go out and spend $60, $80 to buy it on Xbox or PlayStation. But you could be like, I'll pay Google $6 to play.
$5.
I'll give them $5 to play it for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then you'd be
So
like,
that's
I like this game.
That's a
I don't
very
like it.
interesting thing, actually. So tying back to development and work and whatnot. So if you use AWS, Amazon Web Services, for example, and just any cloud platforms that provide cloud infrastructure as a service, that's exactly what they do. Like, they charge you based on how much you use.
Yeah.
And so potentially, if you run a simple web page that just says hello, that takes no power, no anything. And so you could be paying like 2 cents a day, or I don't know, I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass here. You could be paying such a fractional amount of money to host this thing for as long as you want. But the second that
You're charging for time, like the profit margins on that are pretty good.
yeah,
They're pretty good.
But and as soon as you need more computation power, more storage space, more anything, that scales up so quickly and so exponentially to like some of the applications we're building and working on. They're going to be like, yeah, no, this is like $1,000 a month or whatever.
Yeah.
Just to be hosted. That's where I see this time thing being similar in the sense of, yeah, no, I can buy an hour for $1. And yeah, that's fine. Not a problem. But if you want to play seriously and you're like buying hours, that's dangerous. But that's where
is.
I can see them doing. You have the option of hours. You have the option of subscription.
Yeah.
If your intent
no.
is
I think they're gonna.
it has to have
that would be a supplemental
Yes.
way of getting people into the system.
Yeah.
Not the only way. I don't think they would ever be like pay
Like-
for server time. No.
Oh, that's
No.
terrifying.
No, I think it would be a subscription model because
Yeah.
you want to keep people locked in and you want to keep people like myself who have an Xbox Gold. And I just, like you said, yours ran out and you had to buy it again. I have mine set to roll over.
Yes, yeah, yours automatically.
Mine just charged me $80 every
Yeah.
time it rolls
Like,
over. So like, and
take
then
my money.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's fine. So they want that
That's
model.
what
They
they
want the
want.
Netflix model of people just
Yeah.
saying, "Here you go, take money out of my account whenever
you need
it's
to.
up."
Yeah. The other aspect of this whole subscription payment, whatever. So we were talking about devs putting their games on. I think I mentioned this to you earlier. I'm curious as to how they're going to handle that in terms of I put my game on. You have a million people playing my game. How am I getting paid?
Yeah.
Like how my effort into making this game. Where are my benefits from that? And
they're going to have to come up with people because they're already advertising for developers to come on the platform. So realistically, I would hope they already have some idea of how to do this.
I'm
because
pretty certain they would have a model.
And I would hope also that if I signed up right now for it, that I would be told how.
How, yeah.
Because
You'd want to know
I'd
this
want to
thing.
know before
Yeah.
I spent time and effort building a Stadia game
Exactly
before it told
right.
me how much money I was going to get
Exactly
out of it.
right.
My guess is going to be like YouTube Red.
Yeah. My guess
They've
is
already got the model.
It's YouTube Red, it's Spotify, it's all of these
It's
things
like how many minutes have people been playing your game for, and then
Exactly.
you get paid accordingly.
It's exactly right. I reckon
X
that
dollars per minute.
or whatever the situation
Which
may
means that might be a very interesting. Like we see people create YouTube videos, like around to get noticed more on the algorithm, to keep engagements
Yeah,
and people watching
true.
for more minutes.
True.
How
So
will that affect
it's
game
gonna-
development
it's gonna-
if people know they're being paid for your game per minute?
Yeah. So it's gonna
How will that affect the game development?
It would potentially change
It would-
the sort of gameplay that we get.
People would be front loading a lot of action because imagine YouTube when we go. Like, that's why if you notice trailers now, trailers show a snippet of the trailer at the start of the video and then show a card to say the new John Wick trailer, and then they show the trailer. The reason is because if you see something else, like, people have attention spans of like seconds. So you need to grab it immediately.
Instantly.
So the thing is, if you're on Stadia and a developer has built the game for Stadia, they're going to be like, I need someone to click the button and to immediately be told why they keep needing to play this game.
Yeah.
Because I need money.
Yeah.
I think that's a very interesting change
Concept.
to game development.
Yeah. I reckon. Like
I
I said,
don't like it at all, but sure.
Like I said, I think this will have such a huge impact. If it comes out and if it works, it's going to have such a huge impact on the gaming industry as a whole. So not even just in the availability to players. It's a bunch of different things. It's going to be in terms of the type of games we have, the quantity of games we have, the quality of games we have. Like every aspect of gaming can potentially be impacted by this. So very interesting, very curious to see how this pans out. And just the other thing as well, like you have the browser open with their dev site. They have a partnership with AMD for their own GPU.
Yeah, apparently they were throwing out huge numbers like
So-
10 teraflops, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about
You're just
any
talking
of this.
shit.
Tell me the latency and tell me how well I'll be able to play the game through your browser. I don't give a fuck.
But
The
thing
quality
is,
of how
there are going to be people that do care about that.
Yeah.
They're going to be like,
But if it's 10 teraflops and you get like X amount of latency baked into the solution,
then
no one's
it
gonna
doesn't
play
matter.
it. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Anywho, got quite into that conversation, but it's very keen to see what happens. Very keen to see how this pans out. I'm guessing it's going to be fairly quiet for a little bit now.
Yeah,
After
absolutely.
this announcement, there's still a shit ton of work that needs to be done for it. It's going to take a fair bit of time, but I'm keen to see how it pans out. And like we said, who knows? It might be another Google.
Could be a Google
Hit
Glass.
or miss, but it could be one of their biggest things potentially. Who knows?
What's a big thing that Google's released that hasn't?
that hasn't been a
failed.
flop.
That isn't Google itself. That isn't the search engine.
No, their Pixel's doing pretty well.
Oh, Pixel is actually doing very well.
Pixel's
That's true.
a
Pixel is
solid
doing very well.
phone competitor.
It's a good phone.
It has so many online services.
You could also just say their AdWords service.
Just
as much as we dislike it, it makes them a lot of money.
It's so much money.
I'll wrap it up there.
Thank you very much for listening to our
Big podcast
huge,
about one thing.
About one thing that we've just jumped from one point to another. All related.
It was either going to be this or the New South Wales election, and I don't think
I'm glad we didn't talk election.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't talk election. So once again, thank you. Jump onto our YouTube channel, check out some of our Let's Plays, check out some of the other stuff that we're doing. Who knows? Maybe soon you'll be seeing all our Stadia streaming. Give it time. Jump onto Discord, jump into our conversations. Lots of cool, interesting conversations happening there. Anything that you hear on here, chances are it's already happened on our Discord channel. So if you want in on the conversation nice and early, check it out there.
We also have a whole bunch of
Spotify.
stuff. We also have a whole bunch of stuff on there as well, to Spruik it as well, of D&D and talking about video games, and
talking about specific games.
There's a whole bunch of things in there as well. That's not just this podcast on Discord. No. There's so much stuff on there.
There's a solid amount of people on there, and anybody can just bring
there's
up
actually a community,
any conversation, any point of conversation that they want, and you just have a group of people to discuss it with.
And there's ship posting memes too.
So much ship posting. So jump onto all of our communication-y situations. We'd love to hear from you, and like we said before, we're on Spotify as well. If you're at work and working away and just want to listen in
the glorious audio version,
you can indeed listen on Spotify.
Search for A Cast of Salt,
indeed,
and then we're there.
Anything else, Adam?
No,
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
So once again, thank you very much, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye.